What is up, all you literary fans and gents? It is your girl Deja, and I'm back with a brand new video on my channel. So this year I am participating in the reading rush. I realize that it is literally, as of right now, 2 days away. It's Saturday for me, and I'm just now putting out my TBR, but that's okay. I am participating, so I'm just going to get through this video as quickly as possible. Of course, as usual, I have my list and I have my books. So let's get started. So I'm going to be combining a lot of these challenges because I just got out of a reading slump. There is a book that I want to finish before the reading rush starts, so I don't want to overload myself. It's only a week long, so I only have 3 books that I'm going to be reading during the readathon. So let's get started. So the first challenges I'm going to be combining is read a book with a cover that matches the color of your birthstone. I was born in March. I am a Pisces. I don't know what color that is, but it's like that light bluish looking color. I think it's aquamarine, but I'm probably wrong. I'm also combining read a book completely outside the house. I have a wonderful backyard and a front yard. I will utilize one of them. And then I'm also read a book in a genre that you've always wanted to read more of, and that is adult fiction. So to fit those 3 prompts, I got this is upside down. I got Less by Andrew Sean Greer. So I actually picked this up, I want to say at the Goodwill when I went with my sister. This is about a novelist. He is 50 years old, and his ex just sent him an invitation to his wedding, and now he's just like, what have I been doing with my life? What am I going to do? So I do believe that he kind of books a one-way plane ticket to Europe and kind of just travels around until the actual date of the wedding, just to kind of, I guess, explore. But I'm really curious because I've never read a book with a protagonist this age. Most of the books that I read, the protagonists are teenagers. And then in like a small amount of them are in their early 20s. I've never read a book in which the main character was like 30 or up. So this will be a new one for me. I actually am excited to read this. It's actually not that long. And I feel like this will be a very interesting and very come to home type read. So the next challenges I'm going to be combining, there's only 2 of them, and that is to read a book that starts with the word the, and a book that takes place on a different continent than you live. So for that, I'm going to be reading The Red Scrolls of Magic by Cassandra Clare and Wesley Chu. I actually picked this up, I want to say like December of last year, November or December of last year. And it's kind of been sitting on my shelf. I was supposed to read it earlier this year, but things happen. But I'm going to throw it in on my TBR for this readathon, and hopefully I'll get to it. So this follows Magnus and Alec as they set off across Europe to kind of like have like a vacation, I guess, so to speak. I don't know exactly when in the universe this one takes place. Of course, you know, it's sometime during the Mortal Instruments series, but I don't know if this is like after everything has concluded in the 6 books or somewhere in between there. But I'll probably find out as I read. But things from Magnus's past show up and things start going and our boys are off on an adventure. So I like I said, Europe, that's a whole nother continent, hemisphere from where I live. So, and it starts with a. So it fits. And then finally, the last 2 challenges I'm going to be combining is a book that inspired a movie you've already seen and the first book you touch. So I have 4 books up for grabs on this. I'm going to go over exactly how this is going to work. But the first book I have is The Dark Tower by Stephen King. I actually watched this movie, was disappointed in it. I thought that was a waste of Idris Elba and a Matthew McConaughey, in my opinion. But I mean, it was okay. But a lot of people said that the book is better. I was like, of course it is. Second on the list is A Wrinkle in Time. I went to go see this with my sister. This is by Madeline L'Engle, I think that's how you say the name. I actually really enjoyed the book, Wrinkle in Time. I enjoyed this one. It was okay. It was very fantastical. The animation and CG in that movie was beautiful. So this is also added to the list. Third, we have Messenger by Lois Lowry. I love this series. This is a series with The Giver, Gathering Blue, The Messenger, and I think the fourth one is called The Sun, as in like a child, not the big ball of burning gas in the sky. But this is the third book. This is my favorite one. I have seen The Giver. They have not made The Messenger into a movie technically, but since it's part of the same universe, I was just like, I'll slide it in there because this book is amazing. I really hope that this is the one I get to read. And then last but definitely not least is The Kill Order by James Dashner. So this is, I believe this is it's a prequel to The Maze Runner. So I read The Maze Runner. It was okay. I read the second book, Scorch Trials, I think it's called. Loved it. And I DNF'd the third book. And I was like, oof. But he wrote this book after he finished the first three. So I was like, I'll add it on there because technically I have watched all three movies in the universe. They don't really discuss things that happened beforehand. But I'm like, again, same universe. I'm throwing it in there. So these are the 4 books that I have to choose from. And since I combined it with the first one that you pick, I wrote the names on little like pieces of paper. I put them in this cup that I have yet to paint. And so I'm just gonna, and right here on camera, I hope it's something good. And I'm like, come on, reading gods and goddesses and deities, whatever. Give me something good to read. And I got Wrinkle in Time. Okay. That was not the bottom of my list of ones to read, but this is the first one that I touched. So I will be putting Wrinkle in Time. It's probably not going to be the first book I read. It'll probably be the second because I need something to kind of get me going. So I'll probably start with the Red Scrolls of Magic, then move on to Wrinkle in Time, and then finish up with less. But yeah, that is my TBR for the reading rush. I am excited to get back into reading, to get back into readathons and vlogging for you guys. I will be vlogging during it. It might be a very short and very boring vlog because I don't go out the house anymore, quarantine and all that other good stuff, but we'll make the most of it. But if you guys are participating in the reading rush, leave the link to your TBR down below, or put what you're reading down below. If we're reading any similar things, then we can buddy read during the readathon. But thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you like it, you can give it a thumbs up. And if you want to see more of my face, you can subscribe for more. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.